Hi, welcome to today's video. Today's video is about a place that was actually the newest seaside resort in the UK. I'm not saying it's new, the resort's been here for a while, but it's only in the 1980s it became a resort. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is all about Runswick Bay. Runswick Bay is just north of Whitby on the North Yorkshire coast. Very secluded and very unique. Now, this little gem might seem to be a little bit off the beaten track, but trust me, it really is worth it. Speaking of treks, let's just say that Layla and I had a little bit of a parking predicament today. Runswick Bay offers a choice to motorists. There's a car park conveniently located right at the bottom of the hill, and there's one right at the top, after the turning for the bay itself. Now, we, like everybody else, decided to drive down to the bottom, which has the space for about 15-20 cars, and that's it. It was full, as you can imagine. It probably always is. So I would suggest that anybody coming here goes to the car park at the top. Got great views as well of the bay. I must admit, the walk down to the beach is quite a pleasant experience, but I'm not looking forward to the way back. I think this is the steepest incline that we've been on. We've been up to the tops of Whitby, and that was steep. We've been to a number of places that have foretold of steep inclines, but this one takes the biscuit. If you're disabled, you definitely need to be driving down to the bottom car park, because you may go down extremely quickly, but you won't get up at all. You need somebody to drop you off there. There's just a little footnote there. Well, I think that's enough about car parking, isn't it? So let's get to the real star of the show, Runswick Bay. Now, this is a charming village that boasts, well, a very rich history, dating back centuries. But believe it or not, this picturesque scene that you see today wasn't always that way. In the 1880s, a massive landslide ripped through the area, devastating most of the original buildings. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the villagers had to rebuild their lives and their beloved little community from scratch. In fact, legend has it that the only building left standing was the one where the wake was being held. Talk about a close call, and a story that's sure to add a touch of spookiness to the village legends. Runswick Bay is also one of the newest resorts in the UK. That sounds very strange after what I've just said, but in actual fact, Runswick Bay wasn't really a holiday destination or a place that people would visit in any numbers until after the mid-80s, the 1980s. So this resort as it is has been going for about 35-40 years, and let's just say it's a very, very unique place to visit, as you'll see. Now, after all that historical pondering, a thirst, or maybe an ice cream for myself, might be the next thing on your mind. This charming little cafe is the perfect pit stop for refreshments and a view. Nice little place to sit and have a look around the harbour. You can see all the canoes and whatnot that are piled next to the harbour. You can understand why when you see this place. It looks, I'm not guaranteeing it, but it looks a fairly shallow enough bay. And with all the reports of how good a place it is to come in the summer, I can imagine it probably been a perfect place to learn to canoe, etc. Take a stroll along the historic harbour wall. And you'll notice the sturdy stones that have been placed there to protect the village from the relentless sea for centuries of damage that have happened in the past. And at the end of the harbour wall is something pretty unique. That house there has got a thatched roof, which you may think, well, fair enough, they're fairly unique, but are they that special? Well, it's the only one, allegedly, in the whole of Yorkshire, and it's right on the seafront where it had been battered by every storm known to man, but it's still there. Runswick Bay Beach is more than just beautiful white sand and sparkling waves. In fact, the beach has won awards for how good it is during the summer months. But it's also a playground for explorers too. Millions of years ago, this area was teeming with life. The cliffs here are a treasure trove of fossil hunters. Keep your eyes peeled, you might just discover an ammonite or another prehistoric souvenir. That little waterfall coming down from the stones from the cliff face really was quite nice, and it just rolls straight into the sand, forming a little river. We dared ourselves to try and go over it, but when we looked at it, bearing in mind we hadn't come to play on the beach but to do the YouTube video, we decided possibly that might be a bit wet on the foot. So we turned back. Layla just doing a little bit of fossil hunting, but we weren't that lucky today. Alright, enough beach combing for now. Let's explore the village itself. If you're enjoying this video, and I hope you are, why not hit that subscribe button for me? It costs you nothing and helps me tremendously with YouTube. It's just in the bottom corner there. Layla, can you spot that clock on the side? Pretty neat, eh? This village is full of hidden nooks and crannies, each with its own story to tell. Did you know that there's a famous chapel here, built entirely by the wives of the fishermen while the husbands were at sea, which was unique at that time? It's pretty unique now, actually. They would actually grab stones from the beach, stick it on their heads to carry it up, and then shape it and make the chapel itself. Imagine the strength and determination it must have taken for these women to build a place of worship with their own hands. And now for the grand finale, the climb back up. This might be a good time to mention the importance of good shoes and the fact that there are a few chairs on the way up. Layla conquered it like a champion, as you can see. Although there might have been a little bit of whining involved and promises of never parking on the top car park again. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our little trip to Runswick Bay. A great place for maybe a day trip, or you can actually rent some of this accommodation, some of these houses down here, to just spend a quiet week by the seaside. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this type of video, and don't forget to watch the next video, and I'll see you on that. Bye for now.